Welcome back. This is our 5th interview to the authors of the book The Mind of the World Philosophic Day 2019, sponsored by the Malaysian branch of the World Philosophical Forum. Today we are with Dr. Zahid. He wrote a paper which is called River Classification Using Artificial Neural Network, a case study in Malaysia.
Yes.
This is one of the papers that have been published with the book, along with another 50 authors, I think. So, Doctor, welcome to be here. Thank you for accepting this interview. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the paper you have written, which is part of the book. So, I would like to ask you, nowadays, what is the real situation of the water in Malaysia? Is it safe to consume?
Okay, few years ago, let's say I can take it, let's say like 10 years ago, our river system a bit of, can say, quite polluted, but the government has put a lot of emphasis, so now it's improved much better. Gradually the river coming much better, and of course we have a lot of programs like Love the River, campaigns to the public, and of course the government emphasize so strongly on our water quality, our water quality system, and we are going to review our Environmental Quality Act 1974. That shows how serious our government regarding to make sure that our water quality remains very high.
So, in this case, the government have improved quality of water for the citizens of the country. That is really good to know. So, exactly what measures have been taken by the government to make this improvement?
So we had a lot of campaigns for the public. The same thing as I said earlier, we are reviewing our Water Quality Act 1974 to a new ones. So more enforcement, monitoring on most of our river systems. Now the campaign like River of Life coming in, so that people at every village, private sectors, students coming in to help the government play their role so that our water system remains as it is, at a natural state as before. So not only that, industry also is given more effort so that pollution will not be a big problem to the river.
Great. Well, as all we know, we are all part of the same system, the same planet.
Yes.
So whatever we do in one part of the world affects the other part of the world. So how does pollution worldwide, affects directly Malaysia?
Yeah, that's a good question. One of the programs which are involved is global warming before. And the issue now is another issue is like Southeast Asia, we having quite, can be said as seasonable seasons where there is haze, forest fire. When there's a haze in a huge scale and mix up with our monsoon rains, when it mix up in the atmosphere, it becomes acid rains. When it becomes acid rains, drop to our river, then the river will cause the pollution there. You just imagine a huge countries in Southeast Asia affected by this haze problem, and most this part of the world, the rains is in terms of very heavy. They mix up in the air, become acid rains. Once fall to the ground, then that affect our river system. So we come together under ASEAN spirit that how we can resolve it together of this haze problem and forest fire and also the global warming issues.
What evidence do you have governments working together trying to solve this?
So we have some sort of like a policy in the ASEAN where the 10 countries work together, helping each other so that we can we can reduce the effects of the haze on forest fires. So now the government has put out some sort of like a new policy on X, so that those our companies that invest away from the country, like in Indonesia, they will also must abide to this act, although the act is in Malaysia.
The egg, you said?
Yes, the act.
Okay, and so all of these effort countries are doing, do you think, or can you say it guarantees the future of our descendant? In the context, of course, of potable water to be safe to drink in the future?
Yeah, based on, you mean our surface water, polluted water. Now the situation is coming up more revived now. Less river become polluted because of the existing emphasis on the X for most of the ASEAN countries. And the effort by the ASEAN and the ASEAN spirit, so much we spend on those issues of reviving our water system. Because pollution, they don't know boundary. No boundary for the pollution. Wherever you are, either you are marine pollution, surface water, that's it. It will go to other boundary and polluted the area. But because of the spirit together in ASEAN, we work together to make sure that our environment becomes clean.
Okay. And what is your expectation using these new technologies that you are using right now? So can we be really sure in the future about the way we can measure quality of water? How exact it is?
Yeah, based on what my research area, we have a lot of issues of existing water quality. In our Malaysian standards, we have two approaches we use. One, what we call is the Water Quality Index based on our Department of Environment. We have 6 parameters there. At the same time, we use statistical analysis method, what we call non-parametric approach. But I came up with a new research, what we call our classification of the river water quality using artificial neural network. Why I use that? Because the existing system, like WQI, Departments of Environment, they based during those times on the land use. They created that system since 1986, based on the land use during that time. The main culprit were the industry rubber and oil palm that sometimes pollute most of the water. Now the land use is changing, so we must have a new flexible method which I introduced artificial neural network for the classification of most of the existing rivers. Although applicable to Malaysian rivers, but it can be used elsewhere in the world. And we have tested it, and we found that the model quite a reproducibility can be used elsewhere.
Right. Thank you, Doctor. So for you, all of you that are watching this interview, if you are keen to this topic, please find and read the paper of the Dr. Zahid in the book The Mind of the World Philosophic Day 2019 of the Malaysian branch of the World Philosophical Forum. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
And to answer of these questions.
All right.
And see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.